Income.
As far as William goes, yeah.
Okay, very good. Mayor, would you like to begin facilitation, or since you're in transit, would you like someone else to move through the agenda till you arrive?
I can go ahead and call to order this meeting of the Boards and Commissions Committee for October 6th, 2025. And I'm Julie Hoy.
Matthews.
Councilor Nordyke, you're on mute.
Good afternoon, folks. Councilor Nordyke present.
Councilor Nishioka on the sidelines.
And staff?
Dan Atchison, City Attorney.
Linda Rose, Executive Assistant.
And Gretchen Bennett, CMO CS staff.
Great. What do we have on the agenda? I don't have it in front of me, if you don't mind, Gretchen.
I don't mind. The next item is public comment. There's no member of the public in the room with us or online today. Has anyone received any public comment to bring into the meeting?
I have not.
Nope.
Very good. Well, the next item on the agenda is the Community Police Review Board, and I've got two items today to talk with you about related to this. I'm going to begin with the criminal history checks, and I can, yeah, do you want to share the screen to that one? Well, I'm going to begin with the criminal history check one.
Okay.
So you might remember your Community Police Review Board reviews unresolved complaints against the Salem Police Department and is advisory to both the city manager,
This one here?
yeah, and the police chief. And your Salem Revised Code indicates that the Boards and Commissions Appointments Committee shall consider criminal history when reviewing applications. However, due to staff oversight, I'll own that, that has not been a part of the process. And so we have corrected that. We've completed criminal histories for our seated members and for our currently pending applicants. And wanted to bring, we had one criminal history that was remarkable, for lack of a better word, or, you know, was worthy to make sure it was brought to your attention. So we wanted to do that, and that's in your staff report. We've also included his initial application. One thing I'd like to just mention about that is the application, when you pull his initial application, backloaded in the new questions, but those questions were not present back when he applied. So if any of you noticed that and was confused, that's what that was. So this is technically an information only item, but I'll pause there just to see if there's questions, concerns, anything anybody would like to do as a result of the information. And Councilor Gwynn, welcome in.
Hello, thank you.
We're working on the criminal history staff report on Community Police Review Board. After we finish there, we'll roll into the applications to the board.
Does anyone have questions?
I don't have a question, Mayor, but I do see that according to the staff report, the conviction for aggravated murder certainly jumps off the page. However, it does show that his sentence was commuted in the year 2022. And so if this were still a conviction, that would be one thing. But with the commuting of sentence, I don't see this as being an issue at this time. However, if there are others who have questions or concern about that, I would be curious to know. And I do have a question for staff. Has the CPRB already been notified of this finding? And if so, did they have any comments or suggestions about whether Mr. Hedquist should continue as a member of the CPRB.
Thank you. I'll pause and see if anyone else wanted to answer the counselor's first question. We can come back to that too. I can jump into that. I did not notify the board members of Mr. Hedquist's background, thinking that that was a role to notify all of you. However, I did notify everyone, of course, that they were going to be undergoing this records check. And one member, not Mr. Hedquist, wrote in and expressed support for his continuation, indicating it's a valuable perspective to have, and they would indicate support. No one else made a comment or may be aware.
So can I ask a question?
Yeah.
For those of us that maybe didn't go to law school, well, would another word for commuting be exonerating, or is this different in some way?
This is different. So commuting means you're just reducing the sentence and releasing him. His conviction still stands.
Okay.
So it's not a matter of innocence or guilt. I think in the governor's commutation of the sentence was fairly well publicized at the time it occurred. And I think based on his acts in prison since the conviction kind of led her to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a pardon, right? It doesn't nullify the conviction, but great question.
So this would be no different than if he had served his full sentence and then was still, I mean, or anyone else that had committed a crime and served a full sentence and then applied this.
Correct. And the code, as far as criminal history and all the other factors that go into making these appointments, they're all just factors in determining whether the council wants to appoint a current member. Obviously, you know, experience with the criminal justice system in one form or another is one of the considerations as well. You know, so criminal history in some ways could, you know, provide a perspective that is helpful. This is not a typical conviction that we would encounter most often.
Right, for sure.
Other questions or comments or potential actions from the information shared?
I want to thank Counselor Matthews for that question about defining commute. And it is a very serious crime. I've heard from some folks with some discomfort in with this position, and I understand it. And I if this is information only, what is it we are here to do?
Well, you have a choice, and I'll look to Dan to correct me if I'm wrong. You can receive it as information and just move forward, or B, a member of this committee could make a motion to recommend to City Council that Mr. Hedquist no longer serve on the CPRB, and then if that motion carries from this committee, it would become a council action item to remove Mr. Hedquist from the board. So it's either an information item or potentially an action item, depending on what you'd like to do.
That's correct. So council makes the appointment. So we're bringing this information to the committee, and the committee can take an action to make a recommendation to council, or potentially a council or any member of council could raise a motion at council.
So since we've been remiss at bringing the awareness initially, we thought it important to bring it now as we're correcting our procedures moving forward. And in the future, we'll continue to bring information about criminal background as a part of your applications, like we've done with the next part of this agenda.
So I see the last part here says, moving forward, reasons staff would provide a do not appoint recommendation would include violent felony convictions at any time in a person's history. So if this application were to come in tomorrow, the recommendation from staff would be not to appoint. Is that what I'm taking away from that?
Yeah, or at minimum to make you aware of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
You can override a staff.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, this is an unusual situation. My goodness. I'm still processing, so forgive me if I'm talking out loud here. You know, this is a highly unusual situation. And I would be inclined to believe that council would be interested in knowing that this has happened and wanting to weigh in it. My general preference is to lean into the public discussion of this. And so I would be more inclined to bring it to council to see how they feel about it. I also would like to know what CPRB thinks about having a current member of theirs removed from their ranks. So I would like to, I don't know whether we should I would love to hear from my peers on this because I'm still thinking through this. Should we first gather information from CPRB before we recommend taking it to council? Because as I understand it, CPRB doesn't necessarily, it's not like they have a case coming up where they're going to be making decisions in the upcoming month. Do they, Gretchen?
Well, as happenstance would have it, I have 2 requests for case review now pending, ready to take to the board. Yeah.
Okay.
So when I have the do not appoint recommendation on, that is offered to you as a general rule of thumb on how to do it. I should caveat on this case, having had someone with us, he has been a productive member of the board in the year that he's been with us, but I don't want to make any comment about the background. Certainly the conviction is a conviction.
Yeah, and you know, the other thing to take into account, you know, you can still provide public testimony at any CPRB meeting. You don't have to be a member of that commission, of that board, excuse me, to be able to weigh in and share input, which any member of the public can do, regardless of their conviction status. So I don't know, I need some time to think on this, but I'd love to hear what you all think. I'm just trying to frame the discussion. And to me, it sounds like it's somewhat time sensitive in nature if the CPRB is going to be, it has some cases coming up before it soon. So I'd love to hear what others think.
Well, I agree with you, Councilor Nordyke. I think it would be wise to gather some information and input from the CPRB so we can know what it feels like to them. They're the ones serving on this board, and and how they might wish to move forward. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, Mayor.
I think I'm good with that. I'm very much on the fence, I think, so any input from someone else would be helpful.
I think I'm concerned with the original application because there were a bunch of questions that were never answered.
Those weren't, sorry, she explained that before. Those are on the original, that they are pulling through now because they're on our current thing.
Never mind.
Yeah, unfortunately, the software failed me a little bit. I added these new questions and I had no idea it would populate
Into
the old
existing,
applications. Yes.
Sorry about that. That's what happens when you're tardy.
No.
No.
Well, it sounds like a next step would be for me to convene the Community Police Review Board, gain their input, and then circle back here.
Yeah.
Or should we go directly to council after this?
Thank you.
I think, for me, I would think the Community Police Review Board,
Mhm.
that would be, that, I think they're the ones that daily have know what they're doing or know what they do better in that committee generally, and I think that they.
But then the question was, come back here?
Oh,
or go
from the,
directly to
I'm
council?
sorry, I thought you meant go straight to council. Oh, I got you.
Should I take that feedback directly to council or back to the Boards and Commissions Appointments Committee for deliberation and a potential recommendation?
I would give, personally, I would give the boards, the committee, the opportunity to weigh in, because otherwise we're just making a decision based on what little we know or don't know. Yeah, I would want to hear from them before we take it to council.
Sounds good. So would I then, I'll convene a Community Police Review Board, gather input, and then would you like me to return, Mayor, to the Boards and Commissions Appointments Committee? Or go straight to City Council?
Well, personally, just speaking from my gut, I would like to hear from them before we take it to council, but I don't want to wait for our next meeting. Is it possible to gather that information and get it before our next scheduled meeting?
I think we can make that happen. At this moment, we don't have another regularly scheduled meeting, although we're gonna need one, I believe, in November. So I think I can make that happen. Great.
How does everybody else feel about that?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I'm fine with it. So it'd go to the police review committee and then it would come back to us at the boards and commissions before it went to council, is what I'm hearing.
That's what I'm hearing too.
Okay.
Yeah,
If we haven't gathered their input, then we should. That's my feeling.
great. Will do.
And Madam Mayor, just to chime in, I agree with you. I think your gut instincts are spot on here. I think that if we were to go to CPRB and then jump straight to council, council's going to be looking at us and asking, so you're the committee that's supposed to give us recommendations. So if Gretchen can move quickly enough and if she can marshal that information, we may have to schedule a special meeting of this boards and appointments committee just to review it. But I mean, I think that the purpose of committees like this is to do the deeper dive and to make recommendations to the full council. So I think my gut also is that let's see if we can wrap our heads around this and then make a recommendation to council on how to proceed, frame the conversation, but give them opportunity to weigh in. And if we move quickly enough, we should be able to get all of that done promptly, hopefully.
Agreed.
How long is the term on the police review board?
I want to say 2 years and then can be appointed for another 2-year term. And Kyle is concluding his first year term on January 1 and is eligible to serve a second
Okay,
and would be interested in being considered for that slot.
he does want to do
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my understanding. All right.
Well, do we need to make a motion for that, Dan, or are we just good to give Gretchen the direction here and move forward?
I think we're clear. I think she's gonna go to the CPRB next.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaking of CPRB, would you mind switching, Linda, to my other staff report? We also, we lost a couple who turned out, who did 2 terms, and then you need to rest after doing 2 terms, and
Oh, whoops.
so,
didn't
yep,
share.
that,
But
oh,
I
yeah, we
didn't
need to
share.
share. So we have some openings on the Community Police Review Board that I'd also like to bring to your attention while we're at it.
Where's the shirt? There it
The
is.
green
There
right
it
there,
is.
yeah.
I'm a little rusty, folks. My apologies.
There we go, very good. Then the blue share. So we have 5 applications received and with no relevant criminal history. And Linda, if you'd scroll down a bit, we have 2 regular positions available and 1 alternate position available. I do have a member currently in an alternate position who I learned over the weekend would like to be considered into a regular slot, Kelly Raths. So if you'd like to consider that, but otherwise I would invite you to review the applications before you and select a recommendation for a regular position and potentially 2 alternates if you'd like to move the original in. Counselor Nordike, go right ahead.
Thank you. For the alternate, I always want to know, is the alternate participating in the meetings? Are they doing the kind of engagement you would like to see for a fully fledged member of the board?
To a limited degree. I think there's been some scheduling conflicts, but when available, yes.
Okay, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes, Mayor, we can. I can anyway.
Can the room hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. can you hear
Okay,
us?
thank you. I just wanted to add, what a nice problem to have on a board and commission with several applicants lined up. That's great.
Yeah.
So the question is, first, I guess, do we appoint first of all, is this just recommendations for the mayor appointment, or do we actually, like, I mean, everything goes to council, but like, do we,
These are council appointments.
okay, so the first question is, do we make a recommendation to appoint the alternate to the full-fledged position?
I agree. If you wouldn't mind that being added on, I'm kind of walking that into the meeting today,
Yeah,
so.
gotcha.
The person's name is Kelly Raths, and if that's comfortable, that's question number one, is would you like to move them from an alternate to a regular position?
To me, that makes sense. I mean, I don't know how everyone else feels, but to me, that makes sense. Just she's already doing the alternate job and obviously shows that she's engaged in it. So to me, she should have the first full position.
So moved.
So
And is there a second?
I'll second.
Love it, great, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that leaves you then with one regular position and two alternate positions available. And you have applications from 5 people. And does any have any that they would like to recommend for appointment?
I do have a recommendation, Jeff Jorgensen. He has worked in publicly appointed defense work, both criminal and juvenile, for 10 years. He spent, as he says in his application, a great deal of time reviewing police reports and body camera videos. That's a huge amount of expertise that the current body does not have. And looking at who currently serves on the board, they all provide outstanding experiences. But I think that having someone with that kind of professional expertise would be helpful. And I should add, I used to serve on the Community Police Review Board myself. I certainly have reviewed my share of police reports and body camera footage and other police videos. I found that experience very helpful in going into these conversations. It made me feel more well-rounded and more objective, because I had seen so many different types of police interaction. So I would think Mr. Jorgensen would make an outstanding addition.
He was my first choice, but
can you pull up I know that in the past you guys have had like a spreadsheet of who's currently on it and kind of what qualified them in those scenarios.
I don't think we have that today, do we, Linda? I don't think that's up to date.
The Excel. It might be, let me see.
When I peeked last week, it looked like it still needed some updates, so I'm not sure if you visited it.
I hadn't visited it since, well, we haven't really done any updates since I restarted, so.
Do feel free to open it.
Yeah,
Let me,
yeah.
and I'll talk you through it.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, and the only reason I ask is I agree. I think his application looks super qualified. And I'm just assuming we don't have other defense attorneys or anything else already on this board.
We do not.
I think so now.
Okay.
Bear with me again, folks.
I'll look again, but I'm pretty sure he's the only attorney.
You're gonna do it.
924, your first, I think.
Yeah, I don't think I've done any work in CPRB since I restarted because I don't think there have been any
Right.
done.
And so if you would also hide the address column
Yeah.
for me, thank you.
Mhm.
But while we're hiding that column, you can see, one update I would make is row 5, David Reinhold, and rows 9, Aaron Hall, have turned out. They've served 2 consecutive terms.
Right.
And then we're unable to be reappointed given our rules there. But the rest of the crew is all currently, although Grant is now also in a regular position. That's the other update I would make to this spreadsheet, is Grant was moved from alternate to regular back in January.
It is a little outdated.
But with those edits, that gives you a sense. Currently seated, Kyle Hedquist, Celine Coleman, Mel Gregg, Elizabeth Infante, Kelly Raths, Grant Yoder.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think to me the Jeff Jorgensen one makes a lot of sense. So
Elizabeth has she already done 2 terms and?
She is not. Elizabeth has, oh, wait a second.
Because a bunch of these, it looks like they're ending on January 1 of 2026.
Yeah, you're right. It looks,
So-
and you're right. It looks like both Mel and Elizabeth will be heading for that term out.
Hey,
as well.
folks, is it
Yeah.
possible to share the?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I got so excited for myself to be able to.
Thank you, Counselor. We apologize.
That's okay.
I know.
Still here. Sorry. No, anyway, it's fine.
I'd have
It's,
to scroll down. If you go to this, yeah, I think that'll,
No,
No?
I had it open, but
yeah, I'm surprised it's not appearing for us.
there it is. Why can't I share it? I went in and I went through share.
Oh, maybe stop share. Maybe it's because we're sharing right now. So if you stop share, now try again. I wonder if that'll help the newly opened, there it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm?
Sorry.
And again, for those of you online, or Counselor Nordike, row 5, David, row 9, Aaron, are no longer, they've termed out. They served 2 consecutive terms and are no longer eligible. Grant, row 11, is now a regular member instead of alternate. So those are the updates that I would make to this document you're reviewing.
understood.
And I think so far we have an idea for Jeffrey, and I don't know if there's a second recommendation? Or would you recommend, maybe somebody would make a motion
Are we doing
to
that?
appoint him to a regular position perhaps?
Yeah.
Do you want to make a motion?
Sure, I moved to appoint Jeff Jorgensen to the full position on the police review board.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Very good.
Good deal.
Now you have 2 alternates and 4 other names, if you'd like to consider the additional people.
Well, in terms of our other candidate, I mean, like the mayor said, we have a nice selection of candidates. I thought it was interesting, one of our candidates, Mr. McLean, currently tracks and analyzes legislation for the Senate Judiciary Committee, which often relates to law enforcement activities. I thought that was intriguing. He's also studied other law enforcement systems in other countries. I find that kind of fascinating.
I also like the fact that he's really young, not that, not that that's a factor, but I do like the fact that he is.
You do or do not, Counselor?
I do.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, I think he says he's just 25, but yeah, I mean, and people interact with police too. I'm sorry, I'm speaking over you.
No, you're good.
Okay.
I think I interrupted you and I didn't mean to, so I apologize.
It's all good.
That is, I mean, I feel like that is an advantageous thing, because I'm assuming, I mean, I know we don't have ages here, but I assume probably most of the people that have time to do this are not 25, so.
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
great, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's great.
would anybody want to move for this person to be an alternate?
Can I say one more thing? And on his application, he says he's in Ward 4, but he's not. He's in Ward 7, just so you know. Not that it matters, but it is Ward 7. No, I don't think it does, but
There's no ward requirement or anything.
Well,
No.
I will move to appoint George McLean as an alternate.
Second,
Motion and a second, all in favor?
I
Opposed? Nobody.
and the reason I mentioned the ward is because I like Ashley Kenzie and she's in Ward 4.
Oh, so it's not the
Yeah,
same word.
so it's not
That's
2 in
great.
Ward 4.
Well, thanks for pointing that out. Can you
Thank
tell
you.
us what you like about her? Or why would you pick her
Over the
over
others.
the others? Mhm.
Communication director, I just felt like she has really good background in public policy.
strength and trust between the
Yeah.
police department and the community.
Yeah, so I thought she would be good, but,
You wanna move for her?
well, I don't know if anybody else had any other.
Counselor Nordick, do you have any other input?
I'm sorry, Madam Mayor, I was busy looking at the levy oversight material, so I wasn't paying attention. What were you just talking about?
Actually, Counselor Gwynn is considering perhaps making a motion to appoint Ashley Kinsey as
Oh,
the second alternate.
oh, okay. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I mean, I reviewed her application. She has some strengths as well. So, if that, I'm more than happy to, more than either one is fine with me.
Make the motion?
Yeah, I move that we appoint Ashley Kenzie as the alternate, right?
I'll second. And all in favor?
I,
Any opposed? Thank you.
Mayor, the next topic on the agenda is the levy oversight. Oh, you want me to,
You wanna?
sure, I'd be happy to. I don't know if you want to introduce this one or if you'd like
Go
me to
right ahead
introduce
if
it.
you
All
don't
right,
mind.
I don't mind at all. So the levy oversight committee has opportunity for 4 community members to join 3. I'm sorry, give me just a second.
Yeah.
I don't know why it said only 1 community member can share because nobody else is sharing at this moment.
Just like this.
Okay. I want to be able to share this screen and I'm,
You can't read it, but
there we go.
All done.
Now it's
Yeah,
gonna
there we
work.
go.
but it's here. Because I can't see close up.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, those are worthless.
So again, we have 4 mayoral appointment seats. 1 at large and then 1 connecting each with the various areas. I can amplify a little bit. We have notes from a conversation with both Ariel and Jean that we can share, should that be helpful. And I think the mayor's bringing these before you today for your awareness and any reaction or feedback that you may have. Yeah.
Thank you, Gretchen. Went through all of the applications and felt that these 4 stood out the most to me, but that doesn't mean I don't wanna know what you think. I do.
I just had a question. Mayor, are we appointing counselors to this as, oh wait, never mind. If you scroll up, I think did you, Madam Mayor, identify who you have on here? Oh, okay, there it is. Counselors Tigan, Brown, Vane, and Barney as alternate.
Mhm.
That sounds good to me. Thank you.
Any discussion, questions, feedbacks?
I have no comment. I believe it's the mayor's prerogative to appoint.
Can I just ask one question? So,
Sorry.
okay, I'm actually looking at the wrong one. Can you just-
It's your work on you.
You're gonna have to.
Yeah, hold on. Hold on, it's like I was looking at the wrong one for a second, hold on.
Just make it a good one.
Yeah.
Doo-doo.
So I'm not familiar with, the only reason I mentioned this, so there is, one of the people that had applied is from my ward, and she's in my neighborhood association.
Mhm.
She told me she applied, so I was looking through kind of what her qualifications were, and it sees that she has a lot of experience with parks. And so looking at the Parks and Recreation one, I'm just trying to determine, does this person have as much kind of parks experience?
If you like, Mayor, I can begin by adding to that. a deep love and passion for both parks and recreation. Currently, grandchildren are participating in the city's recreation programs. When she was in the Dalles, she was an elected commissioner into a parks and recreation position for many years, so has a long history of love of parks.
Okay. All right. That'll be-
And Councilor Matthews, to your point, we're talking about Jean Palmatier, correct?
Yes.
So I see that I don't know the gender pronouns for Palmatier, but he or she was a planning commissioner, which can be somewhat helpful towards understanding our parks and how they fit within our city more generally. But yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but I think serving in the neighborhood association is somewhat helpful. Also, Grant has its share of parks. They're not Ward 7 parks, of course, but then,
Yeah.
sorry,
they are.
Minto Brown, all mine, the best. I don't care what you Bush Park people say. We all know.
And I'll be Wilson.
I think it's fine.
So we're good?
All right. Then the last item on the agenda, would you like me to
Yes,
jump in on
please.
that? So the Hispanic Advisory Board, we wanted to update you. We have a two-step process as we work through your direction to work towards a recommendation with a Hispanic Advisory Board idea in partnership with Jonathan Castro Monroy, the community member who provided public comment at your last meeting. To help council be supported with a broader framework or criteria from which to evaluate ideas for new boards and commissions, we'll docket an agenda item for October that would offer you criteria from which to evaluate the new ideas. Those were prepared for us with then named Moss Adams back in the day, who prepared a document for you all. So when you're considering a new one, here are some criteria to look at. So we first bring that to city council and ensure, are these the criteria you'd all like to think about when creating a new boards or commissions? Then we can come back to you all using that criteria or amend criteria as amended by council with a way of evaluating the idea. So it essentially gives us a framework to come back and make a recommendation for you. You might find it helpful if you look down the road, there's other ideas out there around other boards and commissions as well. And so it gives you a way to have a framework to evaluate the ideas. So we thought that might be more helpful. So we thought we'd do this for you in a two-step. With the first one, I'm thinking October 27th, Dan, first step one, yeah. Yeah, and then we'll come back here with the results of that conversation, I think in November, and then move back forward to council if you so move.
Has there been outside input already on this possibility?
I don't know in a formal way. I think informally, people have commented as the media has covered the topic. But I don't think we've specifically had input on the idea. That's an interesting question, because maybe that would be part of the criteria you'd want, is what's the public feedback mechanism? If we're going to create a new one, would you want a public comment period or a public comment opportunity? It's an interesting question.
I think public comment, at least opportunity. I don't know that we need a meeting necessarily just for public comment, but somewhere that people could put in, or we're being asked to kind of give some sort of written comment. I don't know if that's an option.
If it comes onto the agenda,
That's true. I guess
it'll be,
they can do it at that time.
That's true. Both would come on the agenda, both the general criteria and then the specific recommendation of forming or not forming would show up on the agenda. So that's true.
so are you looking for?
Well,
No, I was just providing an informational update, because I knew you were interested and so wanted to bring that forward.
Did you have something, Councilor Norday?
Sure. Thank you, Madam Mayor. So I'm supportive of the proposal to take this to the October 27th City Council meeting. And yes, that agenda would be an opportunity for anybody to weigh in on and provide public testimony for any item on our council agenda, including this one. So that's public opportunity number one, in addition to what we've already received. And I like the idea of having criteria because, you know, any single member of council could be approached at any time with an idea to form a new board or commission. And I think it's appropriate that we vet them in a systemic way and that we treat them through similar, you know, just have everyone go through the same process, right? So I would be very interested in seeing what criteria Moss Adams, then formerly Moss Adams, has in mind for deciding whether to add a new board or commission. And then coming back to us once we've had an opportunity to discuss it at the council meeting and to hear from any members of the public who may express interest. I dare say Mr. Monroy, Custer Monroy, and others may want to use that opportunity to share their beliefs on whether forming this commission would be a good idea. So I'm fine with that process. Sounds good to me.
Right, and just to be clear, it is Baker Tilly these days.
Yes, it is
right?
Baker Tilly these
Okay.
days. They were formerly Moss Adams. At the time they wrote this, they were Moss Adams. They're now Baker Tilly.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good,
All right.
sounds good. Thank you for all the hard work and effort.
Absolutely.
That's it. Therefore, anything further from anyone? Nope, we are adjourned.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.